Hello, I'm Brian with Overcoming Obstacles to Health. Today I wanted to focus on loosening up the hips and the knees and the feet. And one way to use that is to use a wall, or my makeshift wall here, to do that. You can use a strap. If you have a strap, there's like yoga straps. They may not have a bunch of loops like this one does, which is ideal. You can get some pretty cheap for $5 to $10 online that can be very useful for helping you to hold a little longer in a position. And then also you could just use like a towel, maybe a beach towel or something or whatever, preferably a lighter towel because you kind of have to hold the weight a little bit, and you'll be able to like wrap it around your foot here. So I'll show you first off what we're doing, and it's to use a wall to take some of the weight of our legs off so we can do this longer period of time and to isolate particular areas. So I can do it a couple different ways. I can turn sideways and get closer to my wall here, and then lay down onto my back and swing the legs up. Now this is the more intense position, or I can leave my hips a little further away from the wall. So it just depends. When I get in this position, if this is not comfortable, then I want to walk my hips away further from the wall. If I have a strap, I can use this here, and I could put it, on both feet. And I have advantages with using this because I can use my arms to help me hold in this position to get into and grab up to be able to hold on easier. So if you don't have that, then you can use a towel. And then the towel, I'm going to wrap around my foot. And a little trickier. If it's a towel you don't care about, then you could take some duct tape or something and tape it so you have enough room to stick your foot in. So what I want you to do, and I'm going to show you with the strap because it'll be easier to see, this is getting in the way, is we can have problems with imbalance in the joints, and a lot of times that could be inside or outside of the knee or ankle or hip or something like that. So I can be in this position. I can find a position where it's comfortable to put my hands like this, or I could have my arms straight so that I don't have to have my shoulders all up towards my ears and really fighting with my arms. But what I'll start to do is you can do is have the leg semi-straight and turn the foot in. I can turn the foot out to try to check my hip here and see how it's doing. I can start to bend my knee and then slide my foot out a little further, so it's kind of like I'm going a little bit into the splits. And that's going to tend to work on the inside of the knee. I can move the strap, or if I have a towel, I can move it to the outside here, and that pulls my toes out. So with this, I'd slide up a little higher to get closer to my toes, to get a little more leverage. And in doing so, I'm stretching on the inside, I'm activating some muscles. I can also go the opposite way. So if I feel tension on the inside of my knee and I pull out here, that's going to add to it. So I can lessen it by going this direction. I could use my muscles as if I'm turning my foot like this, but the strap or your towel, as I bend my elbows, drop it down a little bit, pull my elbows into my body, make it a little easier to hold, activates the outside of the leg. That can give a little relief if you found some spots in your knee. Now, with my leg more straight, I could do a little more focus. Still want to have a bend in your knee so you can get the movement in the lower leg, is to work on this ankle. Now I can do different things. There's 4 different directions you can move the ankle in that check its range of motion but also challenge it. So the knee has to be bent for that. As I turn my foot out, I'm not really pulling with the strap right now, and I point the toe. I'm going to move my foot away from the wall for a demonstration. And then I keep it turned out and I pull the toes in. So that's 1 and 2. And then if I move it to the outside, I'm just doing this for a little resistance, is I turn my toes in, point the toe, and then pull it back. So this will challenge the whole lower leg and ankle. So when I'm on the wall with my heel, I can try all those different positions, like point the toe, pull the toes in, out, and in, do the same thing. I can add in the knee and the hip some by bending the knee, putting my foot out to the side, or I can come across this side. So if I come across to the opposite side, this foot on the wall, it tends to make you just want to kind of slip down. So I may put this foot out to the side. Or in the case of demonstration, I might put my foot against the wall here, or I might scoot away to be able to bring this leg across if the strap was on that leg. So for demonstration. So at any rate, I'm holding a spot on the wall, and if I find a particular spot that's a little bit tight, I want to imagine I'm pushing, even just with my heel. I was showing moving the foot, but I could just keep my heel where it is, push up towards the ceiling, down, right and left, as if I'm trying to move it, but I'm keeping it stationary. And I can push straight into the wall, or like I'm pulling my foot away from the wall, which would be kind of like flexing your muscle. You're tightening it up, but you're not lifting the foot away from the wall. Now, if I have the two strap thing here, then I'm doing something kind of like, I can, even with the towel, I could do it on one, and I could pull the knee closer into the chest. And that's going to give more of a focus on the hamstrings here. If I have the leg a little straighter, maybe I have it up the wall, or I pull it away from the wall, depends on the flexibility in your hips. I can focus on the back of the knee, keeping a little bit of a bend. I can pump or straighten the foot, and so on. Now, if I have both, I can get into this kind of happy baby position. I can let the strap be the inside of my arms to hold back like this, the weight of my arms to help me, or I can reach up and grab. Now, if you just have the towel, you could use the towel on, say, one leg being kind of straight, and then here you might just have to grab your shin and pull the leg in. So the movement in one hip does affect the other and allows more movement or less movement depending on what we do with opposite legs and hips. But anyways, that's kind of the idea of it, and is to investigate or find spots that you feel tension and stay there for maybe a minute or so. Should still feel comfortable. I can also move my bottom a little closer, and I can just have my legs straight up the wall, which is a nice way to get that low back flat on the ground. If I have a yoga block, or if I need more, I could put a yoga block behind here, and that can work on the back too, or more into the hips. Now I can leave one leg up, and I can turn a little bit sideways, and I can put my foot down like this. So I'm now turning my knee in. So an option, and which I like to do in the bed, because like the crossbody stretch I have on another video, I do that in the bed because once I get out of bed, I'm getting on to doing tasks for the day, and I may not do anything. But it's kind of checking the whole body. So I can be in a position like this. Let me scoot back, you can't see me. So basically I'm lying on my back. I'm going to roll to my right side here. It looks like left in the camera maybe. And so I can get this foot up and further out to the side, and then slowly come back down. So I can leave this heel lifted, or I can walk the foot forward and come onto the heel. So you have to listen to your body, your knee, your hip. And I put my arms down, so it's not just hanging out here. Back of my hands are pressing into the ground. It'll probably mainly be the one shoulder is pressing into the ground. And this straight leg, I can press that outside portion of my leg and the heel into the ground. And then try to relax your neck. So the other option, these are ones where you could pause the video and spend a little bit more time, is to walk the foot over. So you can stay in that other position for maybe a couple minutes. I may have to swing this foot out to the side, walk this foot over to get more room, and then I'm going to push down use the strength of my glute here in the hip to lift. I'm still pressing my arms down. Now this time my hip and my shoulder are probably lifted in this position. I can turn, or I can just have my knee turned out. So I could be in a position like this as well. I like to check it in the morning. I like to start with a knee like turned out to the side, or kind of like deer pose, I can bring the foot out to the side. So either have the foot in or out, which will turn your knee in or out. Then I'd repeat that on the other side. But this is a really good one. So on the other side, I turn over, I bring this foot out and up to the hip, push the arms and shoulders down into the ground, or maybe just one shoulder depending on where you're at. And I'm trying to spread the tension or even the tension throughout the body. And this is a natural add-on to the cross body stretch that I do in the other video. So it's a matter of kind of playing around with it and just checking the balance of the ligaments and the joints and so on, inside, outside of the knee, front and back, on your ankles, in your foot. And this does do some in the hips, especially if you put your legs up the wall. So hopefully you found that helpful. If you did, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. You can also find the videos and information on brianpruzzo.com, where I have hyperlinks to YouTube, to videos such as this. And I also have on the website classes, yoga and functional fusion, that you can watch as well. And Facebook page for a little more information on my body work. Thank you for joining today or watching this, and hope it was beneficial for you.